Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. You search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Thank you guys for joining us here on this Thursday afternoon. And before we get to some fashion and fan news from the Atlanta Falcons, time for Shovels of Wisdom.
Brace yourselves because it's time for the Shovel of Wisdom.
Yeah, you know how we do it every day. We pass out a shovel. If you'd like to do so at me on Twitter, at Mark Zinno, and use the hashtag Shovel of Wisdom. And today my shovel goes to the NBA. I'm not really sure what the NBA is doing or hoping to do or trying to prove or whatever, but I am a little perplexed as to how they keep holding announcers out with COVID and reporters out with COVID. So remember, we lost Mike Breen for Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final because of COVID. Now Jeff Van Gundy, who sounded awful during that game, he now is out for COVID. And so is Adrian Wojnarowski out for the start of the NBA Finals due to COVID. Not a single player tested positive. I mean, shocking, right? I mean, what are we doing here? Like, if you want to make COVID still a thing, and if COVID to you is still a thing, that's fine. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. What I am saying is that if you're going to do something, I would at least appreciate some level of consistency. You're testing broadcasters, coaches. Steve Kerr even missed time with COVID, right? You're testing broadcasters, coaches, and everybody else, but you're not testing the players because you can't put Steph Curry out for a game because of COVID. The NHL isn't testing players, right? They're not doing this. They're in the middle of their playoffs as well. Nobody's missing games with COVID. It's just this arbitrary, like, oh, we care enough to act like we care, but we don't really care. But money over supersedes anything, and we're not going to sit. I mean, it just, dear Lord, it's so hypocritical. It's literally hypocritical. If Jeff Van Gundy doesn't feel well enough to call a game, then guess what? He doesn't call a game. That's his personal decision. If Adrian Wojnarowski doesn't feel comfortable enough to work a game, guess what? He doesn't work a game. And you people can get mad at me for that, and that's fine. I don't care. But at the end of the day, when you're not testing players and they're the ones running around each other as well and could be passing along COVID, apparently you don't really give a rip. You don't. So don't act like you do. So the inconsistency to me is what really, really bothers me with this stuff. If you want to play the COVID game, fine, and play it full out. Sit out players, sit out coaches, sit out important personnel, and everybody else who comes in contact and put them in protocol because that's what you're supposed to do. That's the way it was supposed to be treated. You don't just cherry pick people. Oh, that's a bunch of hogwash to me. I don't buy it. So I don't really appreciate the hypocritical nature of the way they're going about doing this. Anyway, we digress. Some fashion news regarding the Atlanta Falcons. Oh boy, did you see what's going on in October? Falcons going to wear those throwback red helmets. Of course, we've been asking for them forever, and they're finally here. Uniforms are going to look stick. It's the game they play the 49ers again. I think it's October 16th. They play the San Francisco 49ers, and they're going to be wearing those uniforms, which is flat out awesome. That's a lot of fun. And I'm almost kind of glad they chose the NFC. I mean, the 49ers rather could both throw back to the old NFC West when the Falcons used to play the 49ers in that division years and years and years ago. So a lot of fun that they did that. They gave the fans what they want. It's a smart time for them to do it, given how little fanfare there is around the team actually winning football games. And that to me is, a smart move from their standpoint. At least put cool uniforms on if you're going to stink. And people can at least try to show up to the games and enjoy that much for at least the first half before they get out of their seats and leave early. Now, that said, speaking of seats and leaving early, arriving late, as Falcons fans are wont to do, I'm not sure how you take this. But the Atlanta Falcons are trying this new initiative right now to get to younger players, or younger fans, rather. They want to get 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids to the game and create what they're calling, quote, a pattern of behavior, according to their senior vice president of the ticket sales. His name is Don Roback. And what they are offering right now, and they'll roll this out, is that it's a program sponsored by Ticketmaster, a Falcons corporate partner. All high school and flag football players in Georgia will be offered one complimentary upper-level ticket to a game this season, along with subsidized tickets for family and friends for $25 each if they're available. So basically, the teenager's going to get the free ticket, and you can buy 2 more for family members, 3 more for family members at $25 a pop, and they'll put them in the upper bowl and get them to a Falcons game. I don't know if you're doing this because it's desperation and you'll take any fans in the stadium because you know the thing's going to be fairly empty for a better part of it. Like the stadium was empty when they were good. It's going to be a bad look when this $2 billion building, this $2 billion cinnamon bun model, because that's what it looks like. You see like a cinnamon bun, with the swirls. I don't know. I always thought it looked like a cinnamon bun. Anyway, but this $2 billion stadium, for it to only be 60% full is rather embarrassing. Um, so I don't know if they're doing it for that reason. I get the idea of trying to capture a younger fan base, but when you talk about football, it's sort of all encompassing to all ages of fan bases, right? Like that's the allure of the NFL. They get everybody to show up for everything. And when you have to offer these kind of things, it's smart. Again, you're not going to be very good this year, and you want people in the stands. From a business standpoint, I think it's smart just to get people there, and then hopefully, if you get good, those are the people when they get in their 20s, like, yeah, I want season tickets. I understand that, and I think that's a smart business decision. But at this point, it's almost it's always in the back of fans' minds, especially in this market. Like, oh, you need to attract fans, don't you? Yeah. Hey, look, I can relate. I need more people to listen to this show on a daily basis. So make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a follow wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta. You see how I did that? That means I'm a pro. I kid, but not really. All right, that's going to do it for this Thursday show. Fill-in host tomorrow for me as I am on vacation. So John Michael is going to anchor the show tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned for that. He's one of the best in the biz. Certainly appreciate you guys listening to ABC. Make sure you listen to Hitting Hard with John Chuckery and ATL Day Ones with Jarvis Davis and Tanisha Batiste, all right here on the Locked On Sports Network. Free on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta. You guys have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. You guys have a great day. Don't take a crap from anybody. See ya.